pain. Don't allow your voice to be suppressed. The U.S. Constitution reserves the right for individuals to use violence when the appropriate situation arises. Take advantage of it. Thank you.
I just need a couple of seconds.
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
No, I told you.
You got this.
I got it.
In order to win this debate, the negative team needs to prove that violence is not a right and to pursue a social order that we should, and that would be what we should do if we, to prove that we won the debate. Allowing violence to pursue a just social order is not a right. This is allowing people to use violence, whether or not they agree with the affirmative's defensive approach. They shouldn't just be allowed to use it. It's not a good method. Although you may think that Erica Chenoweth may be biased, I disagree with that. She has at one point believed that violence was the answer based on things until she had looked into the reports and looked at all of that, and she used those. She used bigger data because otherwise she would be looking at a lot of very little protests that could include like 2 people that wouldn't be very as irrelevant or successful for any findings there were. Our side won because we took more relevant ways of how violence didn't work, so more recent events of how it didn't work. We also listed the sources that we used for that, for how our for how nonviolence has been more successful, and that is why we have won this debate. Thank you.
Bring it on.
Whenever I'm ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so we won this debate because we have provided you examples of how oppressed racial minorities have the right to use violence in pursuit of just social order. Representative Thao had brought up a bunch of examples how bigger worldwide coincidences are examples of how violence has been used to create a positive change in just social order. But going back to what I originally said, oppression by its very nature is an act of violence. So with that being said, it does not make sense for you to say that the people who are being oppressed cannot use what is being done to them in means for just social order. Going back to Huey P. Newton, which is just a little background information for you guys. This is in defense of self-defense in his Black Panther Party. The writings came from the pen of Huey P. Newton, the Minister of Defense, the Black Panther Party, but the spirit of the writings, the faith expressed by underlying love for Black people exhibited therein comes from the souls of colonized Black people. The people are the heroes. And in that, the opening part comes from Huey P. Laws and rules have been made to serve the people. Rules of society are set by the people so they will be able to function in a harmonious way. In other words, in order to promote a general welfare of society, rules and laws are established by men. Rules should serve men and not men serve rules. Much of the times, the laws and rules which officials attempt to inflict upon poor people are non-functional in relation to the status of the poor people in the society. These officials are blind to the fact that people should not respect the rules that are serving them. It is the duty of the poor to write the contract rules of laws that are in their best interest. This is one of the basic human rights of all men. With that being said, in 2 conditions, it is okay for you to use violence in a just social order to defend your life and defend the life of the person next to you. And that is why the affirmative has won this debate. Oh, was that the trick or whatever?